Applebloom trotted along the old country lane that led to Sweet Apple Acres, heading home after spending all afternoon at Hoover's Step Dance Studios. Despite her inaudacious beginnings, she had decided to continue with the class and improve her dance skills. And improve she did. Not that she could have gotten much worse, but it wasn't so much due to Hoover Step's instructions as it was working with Tender Taps. He had taken her under his wing. Well, not really, as he wasn't a Pegasus, but he worked with Applebloom every day, showing her how to move fluidly, teaching her advanced choreography, and dispelling her notion that Kung Fu was the basis for modern dance. Working with him, she had developed as a dancer, and the two had become close friends. Some ponies thought the two of them were more than friends, perhaps a budding young couple. At this point, their relationship was purely platonic, merely two good friends who danced together and hung out occasionally. Maybe someday they would venture into a romantic relationship, but that was still some time off. Right now, Applebloom was just happy to have a friend with whom she could share an activity she enjoyed. But still, "Applebloom," came a male voice from behind her. Turning, she saw a middle-aged stallion with a grayish-amber coat and dark mane. He wore a collar with a red tie knotted in a prominent Windsor, and sported a cutie mark of 3 bags of money on his flank. Applebloom instantly recognized the stallion standing in front of her as Filthy Rich, the father of her classmate Diamond Tiara. But more than that, the Apple and Rich families shared a history that went back decades. The Apples had learned the secrets of harvesting zap apples and the particular process of turning them into the highly prized jam. Filthy Rich's grandfather, Stinkin' Rich, had begun his retail empire by reselling the popular jam to hungry and eager customers all across Equestria. Since then, the two families had continued their business agreement, profitable to each side, though it was limited to jam and did not extend to the Apple's lucrative and famous apple cider. There was also an incident involving an epidemic of apple blight, though the family preferred not to openly discuss that particular embarrassing episode. So, though it was certainly unusual for Mr. Rich to speak to her alone, it was not something that caused her any concern or alarm. "Hello, Mr. Rich," she greeted. "Hello, Applebloom," he said, smiling back. "How can I help you?" she asked, a little confused as to why he approached her on the country lane out of sight of any other pony. "I am in need of your services," he replied. "That apple season ain't started yet, so I don't know when we'll have another shipment of jam for you," she explained. "No, it's not that," he corrected. "Oh, then you'd like to get some of Granny's delicious apple pies?" asked the filly. "Not exactly." "You'd like to buy a bushel of apples?" suggested Applebloom, uncertainty prevailing in her words as she wore a confused expression on her face. "No, it involves your special talent," he explained. "Oh, are you having trouble with your purpose? The Cutie Mark Crusaders are more than happy to help you reconnect with your Cutie Mark." Mr. Rich shifted uneasily. "No, your other special talent." "Oh," he replied, suddenly understanding what he was referring to then. "Well, I'm expected at dinner shortly." She rubbed her chin with a hoof while she thought. "How about the day after tomorrow, at the Crusader Clubhouse? Scootaloo will be attending the Wonderbolt show in Manhattan with Rainbow Dash, while Sweetie Belle will be working with Rarity's Boutique in Candlelight." "I have meetings in the morning. Could I stop by at 2:00? "Yes." "I will see you then." "Have a nice day, Mr. Rich," bade Applebloom. On a secluded spot on Sweet Apple Acres, overlooking the town of Ponyville, stood an apple tree. But this was no ordinary apple tree. Unlike the hundreds of other trees that filled the orchard of the farm, this treehouse bore the world headquarters of the Cutie Mark Crusaders, and also the Rainbow Dash Fan Club, an organization dedicated to helping ponies find their purpose. From this unassuming clubhouse, 3 young fillies launched their quest to win their cutie marks. Their adventures had changed the lives of the residents of Ponyville and beyond. Most of their exploits led to positive impacts, whether convincing troubleshoes to perform as a radio clown, or helping Diamond Tiara become a better pony. Sometimes, though, their efforts had backfired, like when they brewed a powerful love poison for Big Mac and Shirley. No matter the obstacles, the three persevered until they earned their cutie marks. Since that fateful day, the Cutie Mark Crusaders had transformed from their organization dedicated to winning three fillies their cutie marks to one of helping ponies learn their purpose and reconnect with their special talents. Tender Taps had been among the first, followed by others such as Blue Note and even Gabby the Griffin. Within the walls of this historic institution, young Apple Bloom sat looking at a book. She carefully read the page, before flipping towards the end and reading another. After studying a few more recipes, she placed the book down and walked over to the table. On it sat a stone mortar containing herbs, roots, and berries. Picking up a pedestal, she ground the ingredients until they became a fine powder, which she added a large beaker to. She poured the liquid into the container, before stirring with a Pegasus feather. The contents turned into a beautiful, shimmering gold. Carefully, Apple Bloom extracted a small amount, using an eyedropper to place a few drops to a nearby apple. After a brief moment, the apple turned into a dark shade of blue. Picking up her creation, she took a cautious bite, before letting out a frustrated sigh. She grabbed a small journal and began scribbling down a few notes. A knock on the door interrupted Apple Bloom's train of thought. Putting down the journal, she approached the door and opened it to reveal Filthy Rich. "Hello, Mr. Rich," she greeted. "Hello, Apple Bloom," he responded. Apple Bloom stepped aside and Filthy Rich entered the small clubhouse, taking a moment to gaze upon its contents. A map of Ponyville drawn in crayons, a podium placed in front of the room, a large bowl and individually wrapped mints, images of all the ponies helped by the Crusaders, what appeared to be a blue apple with a few bite marks. "What is that?" he asked, motioning to the apple.
"Oh, that? Well, we heard that Strawberry Sunrise doesn't like apples. She prefers strawberries. So I was trying to create a potion to give apples a little bit of a strawberry taste to them, so that she might eat them."
"Why the blue color?" he asked out of curiosity.
"Well, that's just a side effect from the ingredients I used," Apple Bloom said with a shrug of her shoulders.
"If you succeed, be sure to come talk to me. I'm sure we could find a place to sell your strawberry apples at my store. But I think you should keep the blue color."
"Why's that?"
"It makes them look different from other apples. And rare and unique items are always a hot commodity. I once got a shipment of square watermelons, and sold out in less than 20 minutes, he boasted.
Apple Bloom thought for a moment. "Well, I'm using the farmer's apples, so I'd have to talk with Applejack first. But I think she would like me selling some strawberry apples."
"Excellent. Now, about my other business proposition."
"I didn't forget. Please take a seat,"
he directed. Filthy looked around but only found a few small stools, ideally suited for a filly, but not big enough to suit a grown stallion. Under Apple Bloom's expectant gaze from the podium, he politely took a seat on the floor. Apple Bloom instructed.
"Please start from the beginning."
"Is that really necessary?" he protested.
"It helps me get into my work,"
she countered. "Very well." He hesitated, but began at the beginning. "Well, Miss Rich and myself have been going through a very rough patch. We haven't been able to get along for almost a year now. After trying to work it out, she has decided that she wants a divorce. She has demanded half of everything, including my share of the store."
"I see," noted Apple Bloom.
"It will ruin me. So, can you help me?" he asked.
"Does she have any medical problems?"
"No, not that I know of."
"What about her parents?"
Filthy paused for a moment. "Well, her mother lives in the Ponyville retirement village. Her father died a few years ago."
"What was the cause?"
she pressed. "Heart attack."
"Well, that might work,"
mused Apple Bloom. After a long pause, she turned to Filthy.
"Yes, I can help you. Come back in a week."
"A week?" he asked, surprised.
"It'll take some time to get the ingredients and mix the potion."
And how much will this cost me?
1,000.
1,000! Exclaimed a shocked Filthy.
Paid in bits, not cash.
Why?
It's easier for a filly to spend bits, not dollars.
Why so much? Asked a skeptical Filthy.
Well, it's gonna take some expensive ingredients, so this potion can't be detected by doctors. Second, with what's going on between you and Miss Filthy, I might be mighty suspicious, so I'm taking a big risk in helping you. And third, you're paying for my silence.
Your silence.
Not all death by natural causes you've heard about have been natural. Of course, I can't go into details about who poisoned who. I'm sure you understand.
Of course.
So we have a deal?
I'll bring the money.
Good. I'll have it ready next week. Pleasure doing business with you, Mr. Rich.
Excerpt from the Ponyville Express. Spoiled Rich passed away Tuesday evening at Ponyville Hospital, surrounded by her loving family. She was found a few hours earlier in her mansion, unconscious, with cardiac arrest. An autopsy has revealed the cause to be a heart failure. Spoiled Rich was born in Ponyville to parents Fresh Milk, deceased, and Powdered Milk. She attended Ponyville Elementary before graduating from Ponyville High School. During her time at PHS, she met her future husband, Filthy Rich, heir to the Rich fortune. Spoiled Rich was well known to the community as president of the school board. During her tenure, she was vital in instituting standardized tests required by No Fool Left Behind, as well as establishing the Common Core curriculum currently in use. She also oversaw repairs of the school in the wake of Tyrek's attack and the installation of the new playground set. Spoiled Rich is survived by her husband of 12 years, Filthy Rich, her daughter, Diamond Tiara, and her mother, Powdered Milk. Services are being planned and will be announced on Thursday. Ponies may send flowers to the Ponyville Funeral Home, 13 Syrup Street.